back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're always welcome. Kindly subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, you're always welcome too. Kindly subscribe, and my family, my gang, you're always welcome. So on today's video, guys, we're going to talk about planning on a budget, tips that can help you save money. You know, like, we should save. I mean, as youth, I am a youth, I define myself as a youth, and we should save whatever cash we have, even though it's a 10 bob shillings. What are you saving from the 10 bob? So on today's video, it's almost end of the month, and this is the time that everyone goes for shopping and everyone wants to plan for the next month. And it was an opportunity for me to share with you how I plan on a budget, how I plan how to buy my things that will sustain me throughout the month. So guys, you're always welcome. So the first tip on planning is have a budget. Just have a budget. And when we talk about having a budget, I don't know what you define budget to is, but actually for me, it's the amount of money that I'm going to spend. That is one of the items that I perceive as a budget, the amount I'm going to spend, and the things that I'm going to spend the money with. Did I define that well? Yes. That is a budget according to me, my own definition of a budget. Having things that you need to purchase plus the money that fits the amount. It can fit, or it can be beyond, or it can be less. But that is just a budget. So that is the first tip. Have a budget. You're going to have this month 40,000. What am I going to purchase? What are the things I'm going to purchase with this amount of money? So on to this next tip. So the first tip is budget. The second tip is have a list. And when I talk about a list, is having the list of the things that you'd want to purchase that month. If it's shopping, actually let me quantify it to be, let's say, items that you're going to use throughout the month. Be it shopping, be it your family stuff, mostly shopping. Yeah, mostly shopping. So if I tell you you're going to buy a bundle of unga, if you're going to flour, if you're going to buy sugar, then you'll have a rough budget of how much that all those things in that list can account for. So you can write as long list as possible. You can write up to those things you've been dreaming to have, you know, those things that you've always wanted to have them. You can write in that list. We are still planning. This is a plan. So we are still planning. We are writing lists, and you're writing up to those things you're so sure in that month I won't buy. Then after writing a whole list, the third tip is now to come and identify what is a need and what is a want. So let's define what is a need. Needs are necessities that you can't do away with. You can't go on your life without them. One is food. Food is a basic need. 2 is shelter. Shelter is a basic need. 3 is education. Education is a basic need. Actually, in Kenya, it's a basic need. Other things are basic. Like, I'm just giving a sample of needs. So if in your house, eating is a basic need, then you'd have to have a shopping list having things that are related to food. Rice, all those stuffs. Maybe those are needs you must have. Then wants are things that you aspire to have, but at that time it's not a priority. That's the word. It's not a priority. You can have them, but it's not a priority. Now, going back to the list that we created in the tip 2, cancel out wants and remain with needs. You see how our budget is now, it's coming to a point where we are now budgeting in accordance to needs. So in most times that I have lost money and I didn't know how I did lose my money in the process, it's because I didn't have a plan of coming up with needs and wants. I have a couple of shoes. A shoes are a need or a want. It's obviously a want. So if in my list I had shoes to buy, then I would cancel it. If I have a couple of clothes and I'd written there clothing as a need in the list, so I'll come back and say, Is clothing a need right now? No, it's not, because I have variety. I have a lot of clothes, so that is no longer a need. I cancel it out. That is how you're going to suppress the list. The same thing if you're doing shopping and you want to buy. Let me give you my list. So in my list, before I bought my shoppings for next month, my list had Dove products, all of them, as one of the things I would like to purchase. But that is really a want, it's really a want. It's something I really aspire to have someday. Like, all my house will be full of Dove products. Those products are so expensive, but I didn't go for them because it's not a need. I need a soap. I can use a soap I've been using, and I have been thriving with it. You can look at my skin. I have been thriving with it, so why? It's no longer a need for me. So that's why I cancelled it from my list. So that's what I'm talking about. Trying to define needs from wants. Write all the list. Write the amount that it would roughly cost, because I've been doing the shopping for quite some time. And then from the budget that I have, if I had a 40,000 budget, I come back and see the total of what I have accumulated from my list. If it's roughly 35k, then I'm saving 5,000 from the 40k. So you put that in your savings account, the 5,000. You remain with the 35,000. And I normally put the list a higher price. If it's a Omo that costs 160, I would put 170, 10 shillings up, so that it doesn't mess me when I'm doing the shopping. So I now save the 5,000 that I had the budget was 40,000, and the amount that I have accumulated is 35. Not yet shopped. I have just done a rough totals of what I'm going to buy. I get it 35,000 shillings. I save the 5,000. I go with the 35,000 to the supermarket. I buy all the stuff that I had said, and at the end of the day, you've saved money. You've bought what you really need, and you've spent the cash right. And that is when you'll be sitting down and you'll be saying, I have saved. Because actually you have, because you have a plan. So guys, if it has helped, kindly do that this month as you're going to do your shopping. Try to identify the needs from the wants. And from there, make a list. And from the list, you can now know what to buy and what not, and how to save your money. So bye guys, I love you. Always remember to subscribe. Always remember to share. And my IG link is cynthia.kering.